Stop digging clay soil. Unlock the Amish secret to black gold. If you've been fighting with clay soil, digging it, flipping it, breaking it apart, smashing it with tools until your arms shake, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You're working way too hard. Clay soil doesn't need more digging. It needs more life. What looks like hard, stubborn, unworkable earth isn't actually dead soil. It's soil that's simply waiting for the right biology to wake it up. And that's exactly what the Amish discovered generations ago. They don't break their clay soils into submission. They feed them, build them, and activate them until the soil transforms into what we gardeners now call black gold. Dark, loose, fertile earth that breathes. In today's long-form SoilPower guide, I'm going to walk you step by step through the exact method that brings dead clay back to life the way Amish growers do it. And I'm not just talking about compost or mulch, I'm talking about a potent, natural, microbe-loaded concentrate called FPJ, fermented plant juice, the same style of ferment that produces rapid soil softening and explosive plant growth. But we're not stopping there. I'll also show you how to create 2 different FPJs, test them on live plants, and discover which one unlocks the most vigor. That winning ferment becomes your true black gold activator. This is the exact kind of resource that serious gardeners save, use, and return to year after year. So settle in. You're about to unlock a soil secret most gardeners never hear. Let's start with a mindset shift. Clay soil isn't bad soil. It's simply soil with extremely tiny mineral particles that compress easily. The more you dig and till it, the more you destroy the structure that would naturally keep it loose. Every time a shovel slices through the layers, it breaks apart fungal networks, collapses worm tunnels, and crushes the tiny air pockets that roots desperately need. Think about that for a moment. The very act people believe improves clay actually makes it worse. The Amish understand this instinctively. They don't fluff up soil, they feed it from the top down. They add biology, not brute force. And the one thing clay responds to faster than compost, mulch, or wood chips is living liquid ferments that flood the soil with microbes hungry to restructure it. Where compost slowly improves clay over years, FPJ begins shifting the soil within weeks. It sinks into the cracks, feeds microbial colonies, and builds those crumbly soil aggregates that allow water to move freely instead of sitting like a swamp on the surface. Once you understand this, the whole idea of digging loses all power. You stop trying to fight the soil and start partnering with it. What FPJ really is, and why it makes clay soil transform. FPJ stands for Fermented Plant Juice. Don't let the name intimidate you. It's actually one of the simplest, most potent natural soil boosters you can make. Think of FPJ as a concentrated extract of a plant's life force. When you ferment fresh, vigorous plant tips with brown sugar, the microbes begin breaking down the plant's enzymes, hormones, amino acids, minerals, and chlorophyll into ultra-available microbe-feeding nutrients. The result is a living liquid that does 3 powerful things in clay soil. First, it introduces billions of new microbes that immediately begin creating channels, breaking up compaction, and building granules. Second, it provides calcium, potassium, trace minerals, and growth hormones that stimulate both plant and soil health. Clay soil tends to trap nutrients, but FPJ helps unlock them. Third, it improves the soil structure itself. Clay doesn't change because you dig it. It changes because you change its biology, and FPJ is one of the fastest ways to create that biological shift. But here's the key. The recipe must be exact. If the ratios are wrong, you won't get FPJ. You'll get rot. If the fermentation environment is off, you get mold instead of microbes. That's why this SoilPower guide is focused on correct information, with no shortcuts. How to make 2 FPJs. The most important SoilPower experiment you'll ever try. I want you to make not 1 FPJ but 2. This isn't a gimmick. It's a beautiful experiment that shows you exactly which plants in your area hold the strongest growth energy. That's the Amish approach. Use what nature gives you, observe it, measure it, and let the results speak. For FPJ-A, harvest a fast-growing, high-energy wild plant such as comfrey nettle chickweed or purslane. These plants explode with minerals and growth hormones. For FPJB, use a vigorous cultivated crop such as sweet potato vines, squash tips, amaranth leaves, or pumpkin runners. You're going to make both ferments with the same process, the same ratio, and the same time frame. That way, when you test them side by side, you'll get a true comparison of which one produces stronger, greener, healthier plants. The recipe is simple. All you need are fresh plant tips, brown sugar, and a jar. The correct ratio is always 1 part plant material to 1 part brown sugar, and that's by weight, not by guess. By weight, this matters more than anything else. So, chop the material into small pieces, mix it thoroughly with the sugar, and press it gently into a jar until the juices start releasing. Cover it loosely, not airtight, and let it sit in a shaded area between 18 and 26 degrees Celsius, or 64 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. After 7 to 14 days, you'll see the jar half filled with a rich liquid. That's your FPJ. Strain it, bottle it in a dark glass container, label them A and B, and set them aside. That's the easy part. Now it's time for the real SoilPower science. How to test which FPJ makes the best black gold booster. This is where gardening meets hands-on research. You're going to take 2 identical seedlings, same plant, same age, same pot size, same soil, and give each group its own FPJ. The dilution ratio is critical, 1 to 500. That's 1 teaspoon per liter of water, or 2 tablespoons in 5 liters. Don't exceed this for young plants. Water 1 plant with FPJ-A on the same day every week. Water the second with FPJ-B on that same schedule. This controlled feeding lets you see which ferment truly unleashes stronger growth. So, within about 2 to 4 weeks, the results will really start to reveal themselves. You'll notice, 1 plant will show a deeper greening, another will have thicker stems, and yet another will show more rapid root expansion and, faster branching. That FPJ becomes your powerhouse, the one you'll use to activate clay soil into black gold. This experiment is more than just interesting. It gives you personalized data about your exact garden environment. No book, no YouTube video, not even SoilPower, can know your local plant strength better than this experiment can. And once you discover your strongest ferment, you'll have a lifelong formula for soil transformation. How to use FPJ to transform clay into soft, living black gold. Now let's talk application. This is where a lot of gardeners make a mistake. They drizzle a little FPJ and think their clay will magically change overnight. But clay responds best to consistency. Regular feeding awakens the microbial life that builds structure, softens hard layers, and improves drainage. For a small 1 by 1 meter bed, mix 2 liters of water with 4 milliliters of FPJ. Pour it evenly over the soil surface. The microbes will seep down and begin restructuring from below without you doing any digging. For a medium 3 by 3 meter garden, mix 10 liters of water with 20 milliliters of FPJ. Apply it slowly so the microbes can sink in and not run off. After application, adding a thin layer of mulch helps hold moisture and temperature, giving the microbes a comfortable home. For a large 10 by 10 meter space, you'll need 60 liters of water and 120 milliliters of FPJ. A backpack sprayer or watering can works beautifully. Every 2 weeks, give the soil this microbial drink, and watch as it begins shifting from heavy and sticky toward loose, darker, more alive. If your clay is extremely hard, like shovel-bending hard, blend FPJ with a surface layer of compost, a bucket of wood chips, and a handful of biochar or ash. You still do not dig this in, just layer water with FPJ and let biology do the work. Within weeks, cracks will soften, worms will appear, fungal threads will grow like white hair through the mulch. And before long, the soil you once struggled with begins behaving like a completely different material. That's the magic. That's the Amish way. That's black gold in the making. Clay soil doesn't need to be cursed, fought, or broken. It needs to be awakened. When you stop digging and start feeding the soil, you invite biology to do what it does best. FPJ gives you a natural, powerful way to speed up this transformation from stubborn clay to fertile, easy to work, black gold. If this kind of deep, practical gardening knowledge excites you, then you're exactly the kind of person the SoilPower community was built for. So don't just read this. Put it into practice. Start your 2 FPJ experiment. Transform your soil. And when you see the results, come back and tell the world. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to SoilPower and share this article with another gardener who needs it. Together, we turn hard soil into living soil. One garden at a time.